Hi everyone, it's Laura here for Studio Katia, and in today's video I'm going to share with you how to create a very easy and quick Christmas card using the Snowflakes stamp set. I started by stamping my snowflakes on some watercolor cardstock. I'm using the smooth side of the cardstock, and the ink that I'm using is a silver metallic ink by Spectrum Noir. I wanted to add a little bit of shine to this card, and I thought it was the perfect occasion to try this ink. But if you wanted to, you could also heat emboss your snowflakes with silver embossing powder. The Snowflakes stamp set by Studio Katia comes with a set of matching dies, but before die cutting my snowflakes, I moved on and started working on my background. I did this step first because the metallic ink that I used is pigment ink, and I wanted to be sure that it was completely dry before running everything through my die cutting machine. The die that I used to die cut this sheet of watercolor cardstock is the mini polka dots cover die by Studio Katia, and I'm doing some ink blending with my Studio Katia brushes and distress inks in Stormy Sky and Weathered Wood. And while I finish ink blending this panel, I wanted to let you know that Studio Katia is having a Black Friday sale, so if you're interested, you will find more information in the description box down below, where you will also find a list of products that were used today. Once I was done with my background, I also die cut all my snowflakes, and here you can see the nice effect of this metallic pigment ink. I think it was really the perfect accent for this card. Next, I wanted to create another element where I will place my sentiment, and I wanted that to contrast a little bit with the background. So I used the simple round tag die by Studio Katia to die cut two pieces of watercolor cardstock. I blended my metallic ink in the color silver over what will be the base of my bubble, and then I first heat embossed the sentiment on the central panel, and then I did some ink blending on top. The sentiment comes from the gift tag Greetings Winter stamp set, and I am stamping it with clear embossing ink. I then am going to coat it with white embossing powder by Wow, and I'm going to use my heat gun to heat set the powder. At this stage you cannot see the sentiment, but it will appear once we are done ink blending this panel. As I said, I wanted to have a contrasting color to my background, so I'm going to do some ink blending with this pink ink. This is called Winter Rose and is part of the Harmony series by Spectrum Noir. The color palette for this card is pretty muted, and I got my inspiration from Pinterest. I really love the result, but unfortunately I have to say that I don't think the pictures really do this card justice. Anyway, once I was done ink blending my bubble, I adhered the two die cuts together, and then I started first arranging the snowflakes to see how the final design was going to look like. And once I found an arrangement that I like, I went ahead and adhered them to my background using some Studio Katia glue. I had already adhered the background to a top folding A2 card base that I had created out of some white cardstock. And then, because we don't want the bubble to just float on our card front, I created a little bow from the birthday balloon shaker die, and I also have a little string here. For the string I did some ink blending with that same silver metallic ink, and on the bow I used the same Winter Rose Harmony ink by Spectrum Noir. For some extra interest I adhered the bubble off-centered, so it's more towards the bottom right portion of my card, and then I adhered the string using a T-square ruler to make sure that I am gluing it straight, and lastly I glued down the bow. I have some portions of the snowflakes that are hanging off my card front, so I decided to use my guillotine trimmer to trim those out, and that finished off my card for today. I have to say that I really like the way this card turned out, and because it is so quick to make, I feel it's a great idea for some last-minute Christmas cards. And that's it for today. I really hope you enjoyed this video and I hope I inspired you to create with the Studio Katia Snowflakes stamp set. Don't forget to subscribe for more card making and paper crafting inspiration. Thank you all so much for stopping by and have a great day.